Chapter 51. You are listening at Audio. Jiang Cheng, go out with me. That Tuesday morning, a guy was shouting a confession to Jiang Cheng right there at the entrance of the main lecture hall. Sorry, I'm not planning on dating in college, Jiang Cheng, cool as ever, replied calmly, not a flicker on her face. Clearly, she'd been down this road before. Wah! The rejected dude covered his face and ran off as everyone laughed. Well, that's number 8 to bite the dust for our Sierra since school started, Wang Yuan, who was with Jiang Cheng, said, making a little note. I wonder what it takes to win over our campus goddess. Oh, Yuan, stop it. I'm not even trying to date. The two walked into the lecture hall laughing, then stopped dead. A huge line of girls snaked along the stairs. Jiang Cheng, do you have a girlfriend? Jiang Cheng, I wrote this for you. Please read it. Jiang Cheng, I've liked you forever. I like you. Date me. The guy causing all the commotion, Jiang Cheng, sat slumped against the wall, totally overwhelmed. Damn. This is insane, right? Wang Yuan's eyes popped out as she looked at the pile of love letters and envelopes on his desk. What's so great about him? Jiang Cheng huffed, choosing a seat and plopping down, but, whether she meant to or not, one ear kept twitching, *ugh, so annoying, star. Ahem. What is going on here? The calculus professor, sporting thick black glasses, marched into the lecture hall, textbook in hand. Seeing the chaos, his face darkened. Quiet. Quiet down. Class is about to start. Everyone, get back to your seats. Like magic, the crowd of girls vanished. Phew. Finally free, Jiang Cheng collapsed onto the desk and sighed. Sure, he was thinking about playing the field, but some people were just trying too hard. *, you think you can get with me with AB average? Please, star. After the professor launched into his lecture, Jiang Cheng quietly pulled out his phone and called Wen Jie. Hello. Mr. Jiang. You at the office? Yes, Jiang Cheng and the others are here too, Wen Jie said, then asked, by the way, Mr. Jiang, how do you want to play today's stocks? Great intelligence is still doing well, so hold steady, Jiang Cheng said, thinking for a moment. Actually, since there's nothing to do, tell Jiang Cheng and the others they can just go home. After work? Wen Jie was clearly stunned. * paid leave on day 1. Seriously, star? Yep. But. Mr. Jiang, Wen Jie said, a little worried. We're leveraging 7 times, after all. To be safe, maybe we should have someone keeping an eye on it in case of market swings, right? Nah. Jiang Cheng glanced at the professor droning on and whispered, what, you don't trust my judgment? That's not it. Whatever. It's settled. They're off, but you're not. Get cracking on that recruiting. Okay, got it. Ahem. Question time. The first young man in the second to last row, stand up and answer. The professor's voice boomed across the room. Hearing the noise, Jiang Cheng froze. He put down his phone in a daze and pointed at himself. Yes, you. Answer the question I just asked. The gray-haired professor tapped the blackboard with his chalk, looking stern. Clearly, he'd caught Jiang Cheng on the phone and was ready to call him out. Everyone was staring. Jiang Cheng was stuck. He'd been giving Wen Jie directions. How could he know what the old guy was talking about? Poke. Just when Jiang Cheng was totally lost, someone poked him twice in the side with a pen, then, a soft, unfamiliar voice whispered, Raoul, Lagrange, Cauchy. Oh, man, the mean value theorem. Hearing that, Jiang Cheng quickly gave the answer. The professor, robbed of his chance to punish Jiang Cheng, glared, then reluctantly told him to sit down. Hey, thanks. Jiang Cheng, escaping by the skin of his teeth, turned his head slightly. He was stunned. It was that bookworm, Lu Xian. It's okay. Lu Xian kept her head down, her voice barely a whisper. You should pay attention in class. Got it. Jiang Cheng smiled and turned back around, feeling unexpectedly happy. Maybe this hidden gem isn't so cold after all. I might have a shot here. Lu Xian, where are you headed? After class, Jiang Cheng turned around and asked Lu Xian as she was about to leave. After class, I'm going to get something to eat. Caught off guard, Lu Xian answered in a fluster. Come with me. My treat. No. No way, right? What's the big deal? Jiang Cheng said casually. You just helped me out in class. I owe you. That's nothing. You've helped me out a bunch of times. Oh, come on. Jiang Cheng's bossy side kicked in. Without waiting for an answer, he grabbed Lu Xian's backpack and slung it over his shoulder. Seeing her bag taken hostage, Lu Xian had no choice but to follow Jiang Cheng, her eyes glued to his shoes. What the hell? What's going on, Cheng? Watching Jiang Cheng and Lu Xian walk out, the guys in the finance class immediately started gossiping. Are you sure about this? Li Xiaofeng twisted his chin, looking confused. All those girls lined up to confess and he blew them all off. Are you telling me he went with this old-fashioned academic? Hee, maybe Cheng likes that, different strokes for different folks. What? He turned down girls in short skirts and long legs to go for this country bumpkin. Is he out of his mind? As they talked, Zhong Xier, walking out of the lecture hall with Wang Yuan, looked a little annoyed. What is happening right now? Jiang Cheng is actually interested in a plain Jane like Lu Xian. Seriously? Chapter 52. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Walking out of the school gates, we ended up at a Hunan restaurant just down the street. The place wasn't much to look at, and the inside was nothing fancy, but, having lived this life before, I knew the owner cooked up some seriously amazing Hunan food. I grabbed a menu and handed it to Lu Xian. Here, take a look. Order whatever you want. Jiang Cheng. Lu Xian took the menu, glanced at it, then immediately put it down. She lowered her head, saying quietly, actually, maybe we should skip it. Maybe we should just head back to the cafeteria. Come on, it's hot. Walking around is the last thing we want, I said, waving down the owner, who was taking orders. Alright, let's start with the sliced fish with pickled cabbage, but hold the spice, no spicy. Then, Mao's braised pork, wild pepper beef, garlic water spinach, and 3 fresh soup. Oh, and 2 bottles of Han's Cabin, iced. Okay. Coming right up. As the owner headed to the kitchen with our order, Lu Xian, who was sitting across from me, looked totally freaked out. She'd only glanced at the menu, but the sliced fish alone was almost $60. That was more than her entire food budget for the week, and the braised pork and beef. Probably not cheap either. One lunch was practically half her monthly food expenses. Lu Xian was starting to get seriously nervous. If I knew Jiang Cheng would spend so much, I wouldn't have spoken up in class earlier. She was kicking herself, already regretting it. To be honest, she was confused because normally she wouldn't care about such minor things. What is happening to me? Is it just because Jiang Cheng is being nice to me? Or is it something else? She couldn't help but look up at the cute guy, and met my eyes. Ah! Even behind her glasses, she couldn't escape my burning gaze. Lu Xian was like a deer caught in the headlights, making a little noise and dropping her gaze. Seeing how flustered she was, I had to smile. Now that I saw how beautiful she was, I was floored. An exquisite face, strong nose, a cherry mouth, perfect, just as Lu Xian was about to crawl under the table, the hefty lady boss showed up with a huge plate. Spicy fish slices. Make way, hot plate. You hungry? Come on, try it. I grabbed a pair of chopsticks, rubbed them together, and handed them to Lu Xian. She took them in a daze, sniffed the chili oil, and couldn't help but swallow. Eat up. Don't be shy, I urged, picking up a few pieces of fish and putting them in her bowl. Thank you. Lu Xian pursed her lips, and her malnourished body finally gave in to the temptation of delicious meat. After thanking me again, she grabbed a piece of fish. First, she blew on it, then took a small bite and chewed slowly. A blush of happiness spread across her cheeks. So good. The thin, boneless fish was cooked in a spicy hot pot broth. Super tender and smooth, spicy and fresh. I didn't know you could cook fish like this. It's so good. Seeing Lu Xian looking so happy, I couldn't help but sigh. Even though I didn't know the specifics of her family situation, it was clear that her home life wasn't great. It was heartbreaking to see a pearl covered in dust, a beautiful woman who would die young. I felt so lucky again, lucky I was able to know her again in this life. This time, I was able to protect her. After the first dish was served, the rest came quickly. After finishing my rice, I poured her a glass of iced fruit beer. I poured myself one, and drank it down. Thank you. Lu Xian held the cold glass and whispered her thanks. Come on, why are we thanking each other? I said, burping, and smiling. Try it. It's called fruit beer, but it's really just a soda. It's sweet. Okay. Lu Xian nodded, took a sip, and shrugged her shoulders, eyes wide. Like a kitten. Ring. Lu Xian's phone started ringing. Her face dropped. She quickly unzipped the inner pocket of her bag and pulled out an old PHS. Hello. Mom. That I could tell she didn't like saying that word. Lu Xian. Where are you? The voice on the phone was so loud that even I could hear. I'm at school. Lu Xian looked at me with embarrassment, and said quietly. School. School. That's all you do. Go to school. That the shouting got louder. Your sick father is dying. And you're at school. What's the point of you, a girl, reading books? Get home now. Mom, we agreed. You're supposed to be taking care of Dad at the hospital this week. Me? Taking care of your dad? I have to work. I need to make money. You know your brother needs it. If I don't make money, who will take care of him? Your sick father or you, a nerd? Mom, don't say that. You have my dad's bank book. That's your brother's wedding money. Lu Xian. I told you, get home now. Or I'll tell the hospital to stop treating him. Don't. Mom. That the call ended, the girl's eyes were red, and tears were rolling. What's wrong? That I handed her a tissue, concerned. No. Nothing. Lu Xian wiped her eyes and whispered, Jiang Cheng, thank you for inviting me to dinner today. I have to go. I'm sorry. She grabbed her bag and ran. Watching her go, I tapped the table. Serious, there are problems with Lu Xian's family, ***, maybe I should do something, ***. Chapter 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Here's that address you wanted. Lu Yijie came out of the department office and handed Jiang Cheng a printed sheet. Thanks, I owe you one. Jiang Cheng said with a smile. After seeing Lu Xian rush off, Jiang Cheng was curious. He cornered Lu Yijie in the department office and got him to pull Lu Xian's file under the guise of looking into financial aid for needy students. Just as Jiang Cheng suspected, Lu Xian had applied for student loans and assistance for impoverished students. The major reason for his application was his father's health. He was currently hospitalized in Qinzhou People's Hospital with uremia resulting from diabetes. Dude, Lu Yijie said, watching Jiang Cheng clutch the photocopy like it was gold, I gotta be honest, I don't get what you're thinking. Ling Runan is gorgeous, classy, and totally into you, but you're blowing her off. Instead, you're obsessing over some plain Jane like Lu Xian. What's with that? Man, you're still wet behind the ears. Jiang Cheng slipped the paper into his pocket and smiled mysteriously. Don't always believe what you see. He patted the other guy's shoulder. Remember what we learned in class. Gotta see beyond the surface, man. Find the real deal. Alright, gotta run. Oh, and cover my butt in class this afternoon, will ya? Pfft. Show off. Watching Jiang Cheng walk away, Luigi muttered, "You'll be singing a different tune when your dad's chewing you out." Leaving the building, he hailed a cab and headed straight to the Provincial People's Hospital. Stepping into the inpatient ward, the strong scent of disinfectant hit him. Jiang Cheng instinctively reached for his pocket, then he remembered it was 2009, and he didn't need a mask, no need to be all paranoid. Just stroll right in, sweet. This is the life. Finding the main nurse's station, Jiang Cheng pulled out Lu Xian's file, checked Lu's father's name, and got his ward number from the nurse. As he was about to hop in the elevator, Jiang Cheng stopped, jogged back to the entrance, bought a fruit basket, and then returned to the inpatient building and found Lu's father's room. Pausing at the door, Jiang Cheng peeked inside. Sure enough, he saw the tall girl's back next to the window bed. Lu Xian. Hearing the familiar voice, the girl turned around, her expression shifting from confusion to surprise. "Jiang Cheng, what are you doing here?" Lu Xian stammered, looking flustered and unsure. "Hey," Jiang Cheng said with a smile, placing the fruit basket on the bedside table. "I overheard you talking to Auntie at lunch. Figured I should come by and visit since your uncle's sick. You know, as a classmate." "Oh, you really shouldn't have." Lu Xian was stunned. "Classmates, sure, but friends. When did that happen?" "No biggie," Jiang Cheng said with a smile. "So, how's your uncle doing?" "Ah, he's still sleeping." Lu Xian whispered, her small hands twisting the hem of her old school uniform. "Got it." Jiang Cheng nodded, glancing at Lu's father in the bed. His eyes were closed, his skin pale, his face gaunt. His cheekbones jutted out like small hills under the thin skin. Even without medical expertise, Jiang Cheng could see his condition was dire. "Jiang Cheng, have a seat." As he observed, Lu Xian pulled up a chair, her voice low. Jiang Cheng nodded, sat down, and asked softly, "He doesn't seem to be doing well, does he?" "No." Lu Xian's expression clouded over. "The doctor says my father's in the final stages of uremia. He needs dialysis every week just to stay alive." Her voice trailed off, barely a whisper, laced with tears. "And if you want a cure?" Jiang Cheng looked at Lu's father, then back at Lu Xian. "Is there any treatment?" "The doctor said the only option is a kidney transplant, but..." Lu Xian's head dropped, her shoulders shook with suppressed sobs. Even without her saying it, Jiang Cheng knew that kidney transplant cost at least $50,000. An impossible sum for a family this poor. Lu Xian, in the prime of her life, should be enjoying her youth, but fate had dealt her a cruel hand. Seeing the girl in such despair, Jiang Cheng felt a pang of sympathy. He wasn't one to get involved in other people's problems, but this time, he couldn't stand by. "Lu Xian," Jiang Cheng said softly, reaching out to gently pat her head. "Let me help you." What? Lu Xian asked, confused, but she didn't move, didn't pull away. She didn't reject his touch. Instead, she felt a sense of comfort in the warmth of his hand. It was as if that warmth was the last bit of tenderness this cruel world had to offer. "I said, let me help you." Jiang Cheng smiled gently. "If it's just about money, this little medical bill is nothing to me." "No. Jiang Cheng, it's not a little medical bill." Lu Xian shook her head in despair. "You don't understand. The doctor said the surgery, the medicine, the kidney itself, it'll be over $60,000. "Oh." Jiang Cheng blinked. "Only $60,000. Is that a lot?" The statement clearly threw Lu Xian for a loop. $60,000. Is that not a lot? At that moment, the academic ace's brain short-circuited, and she began to question everything. $60,000. Not a lot. Chapter 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How about you take me to see my uncle's doctor? Jiang Cheng stood and suggested, then we can talk about the surgery with him. No. Seeing Jiang Cheng take her hand, Lu Xian blurted out, "Wait. Did you even hear me? I said the surgery costs 400,000. Right, 400 grand, Jiang Cheng repeated, touching his chin. Oops, I don't think I have that much in my account right now. I just said. Hey, Wen Jie, it's me. Transfer 500,000 to my account, yeah, right now. Less than a minute after he hung up, his phone beeped with a text message. Jiang Cheng grinned and showed Lu Xian the notification. There, got it. Lu Xian, surprised face, winky face. Let's go talk to the doctor. Jiang Cheng confidently took Lu Xian's hand and headed for the office. Hold on. Jiang Cheng, Lu Xian said, flustered, even if you have the 400,000 and you're willing to lend it to me. I don't know how I could ever pay back that much money. If you can't pay it back, you can find other ways, Jiang Cheng said suggestively, Sigma, surprised face, winky face. Like, what ways? Lu Xian's face turned red, and she instinctively crossed her arms over her chest. Up close, it was easy to see that she was definitely well endowed, probably a 36D. Hey! Stop looking. Seeing Jiang Cheng staring at her chest, Lu Xian stomped her foot, her face blazing. Realizing what he'd been doing, Jiang Cheng coughed. Oops, that came out wrong, and now it sounds pretty suggestive. Never mind that, saving a life is what matters. But Lu Xian, while they were arguing, an angry shout echoed from the doorway. Jiang Cheng jumped, and saw Lu Xian's mother standing there, her eyes bulging and bloodshot, glaring at their clasped hands. Her face was livid with rage. Mom, you're here. Lu Xian's face drained of color as she quickly pulled her hand away from Jiang Cheng. Shut up, you shameless hussy, the middle-aged woman shrieked, not caring who heard her. Who is this guy? What's he doing here? Mom, please, let me explain. Lu Xian stammered, he's Jiang Cheng, a classmate from college. He was just visiting my dad. College classmate, huh? Lu's mother spat the words out, shooting Jiang Cheng a nasty look. That's not all he is it? Lu Xian, don't think I'm stupid. I know what you're up to. She took a step forward, pointing a finger in Lu Xian's face. I saw you arguing with this creep outside the library last time. And you still try to lie to me? You good for nothing. Hey, lady, watch your mouth. Hearing her words get harsher and harsher, Jiang Cheng's temper flared. Ignoring the fact that she was older, he grabbed her hand and stepped in front of Lu Xian, saying coldly, Lu Xian is still your daughter. You shouldn't talk to her like that. That's way out of line. Get out of here. Hearing Jiang Cheng's defense, Lu's mother erupted. Who do you think you are? But out of my family's business. Jiang Cheng. Lu Xian begged, mortified, don't say anything, just go. I'll explain to my mom. Explain what? Explain how you're a slut. Lu's mother, already acting like a rabid dog, became even more unhinged. You little tramp. You harlot. You shameless little bitch. I knew you were up to no good when you kept whining about school. You were just planning on snagging a man, right? The crazy woman ranted and raved, circling Jiang Cheng and grabbing for Lu Xian's hair. I'll teach you to steal a man. I'm going to beat you to death. You filthy, low-life harlot. Stop it. Jiang Cheng exploded. Roaring, he shoved the madwoman to the ground. You hit me. Mother Lu, sprawled on the floor, clutched her face and shrieked, you thug. I can get a lot more thuggish, want to see? Jiang Cheng said, his voice like ice, as he picked up a folding chair. Though he looked like a kid, he had the soul of an old man, hardened by the world. He had dealt with plenty of vile people in his past life, so he knew that being reasonable was a waste of time. It was like talking to a brick wall, let her be nasty, let her be vulgar, let her be a menace. The only way to win was to be even more unreasonable, fight fire with fire. You wouldn't dare. Mother Lu's eyes widened, and though she was still threatening, there was a hint of fear in her voice. Jiang Cheng might not be physically imposing, but the fierce glint in his eyes was terrifying. "Leave now if you don't want to get hurt," Jiang Cheng growled, brandishing the folding chair. "I'm only going to say it once." But before Lu's mother could finish her threat, Jiang Cheng swung the folding chair down with a crash. The chair splintered as it slammed into the floor in front of the shrew, showering her with splinters. Ah! Murder! The shrew, who had been so domineering just moments before, was terrified by Jiang Cheng's sudden attack and scrambled away on her hands and knees. "Pa! Adulterer! You haven't seen the last of me." Scrambling to her feet, the shrew turned back, her face twisted with hate. "You're picking on an old woman, are you? I'll go back to my village and get my people. We'll see how tough you are then. Lu Xian. You just wait. You man-stealing slut. I'm calling the cops. You'll rot in jail. And your sick father, I'm through with him. I won't spend another dime on him. I'm going to let him die in that hospital bed, broke and alone." Thwack, another loud crack, this time as a broken chair leg flew through the air and smacked the shrew in the back. She let out a blood-curdling scream and, no longer daring to face Jiang Cheng, fled the hospital in disgrace. Chapter 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "So, what's the deal?" After that which took off, spewing curses, Jiang Cheng turned to Lu Xian. "Well, Lu Xian's face was bright red, and she stumbled over her words, unable to get anything out. "Look, I could have guessed even if you didn't say a word." Jiang Cheng sighed. "That crazy woman, your stepmother, right? How did you know? Even a wild animal doesn't treat its own that way. No mom throws curses like that." Jiang Cheng threw his hands up. "And what a nasty string of insults." Lu Xian didn't say anything for a long time, just stared at the floor. Seeing her like that, Jiang Cheng kept quiet. It was her family business, after all. He couldn't force her to talk if she didn't want to. "You're right." After a long pause, Lu Xian seemed to reach a decision. She took a deep breath and looked at Jiang Cheng. "She is my stepmother." Having made up her mind, Lu Xian decided to stop hiding things and started telling him about her life. Her real mom died when she was little, her dad raised her, and for over 10 years, it was just the two of them, relying on each other. Then, a couple of years back, her dad met Fan Guixiang, who'd come to town looking for work. When they first got married, the woman was rough around the edges, but things were still okay with her dad around. But last year, his diabetes took a turn for the worse, and he ended up with uremia. That's when her stepmother showed her true colors. She hoarded every dime he'd saved over the years, and ignored him completely, leaving everything to Lu Xian, who was still in high school. Lu Xian had the scores to get into either Peking University or Tsinghua University, but she chose Qinjiaotong University, so she could stay close and take care of her dad. That's when the nightmare really started. Instead of being proud of her grades, Fan Guixiang used the lame excuse that college was a waste for girls to try and stop her from going. She wanted Lu Xian to drop out. "You took out a student loan for tuition, right?" Jiang Cheng frowned, still confused. "Plus, with your grades, you're bound to get financial aid and scholarships." "I don't get it. You're not costing your stepmother a dime to go to college, so why is she so set on you dropping out?" It's because." Lu Xian looked down, stumbling over her words. She wants me to marry her son. She's got another son back in the sticks, 10 years older than me. A lazy, unemployed bum. Nobody around there will marry him, so he can't find a wife. So, she's insisting I marry him to keep the family line going. If I don't, she says she'll stop caring for my dad. Wait, what? That's complete BS. Jiang Cheng stared, surprised, angry, and amused all at once. Damn, this woman's got some nerve. Lu, a gorgeous woman like that, and she wants to marry her off to her good-for-nothing son. As if she and her kid were good enough. She needs a reality check. Cough, cough, cough. A sudden cough from the bed broke Jiang Cheng's train of thought. Dad? You're awake. Seeing her father open his eyes, Lu Xian rushed over, anxious. How are you? What's wrong? Xiao Xian. Father Lu's eyes were half closed. I don't feel good. He coughed again, struggling to breathe. Dad. Dad. Don't scare me. Dad. What's wrong? Tears streamed down Lu Xian's face, and she was starting to panic. Jiang Cheng, on the other hand, seemed to know what to do. He quickly pressed the call button. Soon, a group of medical staff rushed in. This is bad. The patient's condition has worsened. The head doctor looked at Mr. Lu. We need to get him ready for a kidney transplant, now. Doctor, Jiang Cheng asked calmly. Is there a kidney available? Yes, but we need to pay for the surgery first. The doctor frowned. We need a deposit of at least 300,000 yuan to cover the surgery and the kidney. His heart sank. He knew the patient's family wasn't exactly rolling in it. How could they come up with that kind of money? Money's no problem. Schedule the surgery immediately. Jiang Cheng was calm. I'll go pay now. You can come up with 300,000 yuan. The doctor looked at the young man, surprised and a little doubtful. Don't hesitate. Get ready for surgery. Jiang Cheng frowned, his tone firm. Okay. Jiang Cheng paid the 300,000 yuan, then rushed back with the receipt. We've arranged the operating room. The kidney is on its way. The surgery should be ready to begin soon. The doctor looked at the receipt, impressed. Who knew this kid was a rich second generation? After taking care of the bill, Jiang Cheng quickly went back to Mr. Lu's bedside. Mr. Lu was still out of it, and Lu Xian was crying, nearly passing out. Young man, come here. As if he knew Jiang Cheng was there, Mr. Lu seemed to get a burst of energy. He opened his eyes and weakly called Jiang Cheng. Uncle, just tell me what you need. Jiang Cheng leaned in close. Young man. Mr. Lu spoke slowly. No. I'm not going to make it. Uncle, don't say that. Jiang Cheng tried to reassure him. The doctors are going to do the transplant. You'll be fine. No. It's no use. I know my own body. Father Lu's voice was fading. He seemed to need to say something while he still could. My daughter. Xiaoxin, she's a good girl. Uncle, I have a favor to ask. After I'm gone, take care of her. Chapter 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. We're so sorry. The disease came on so fast, and your father's heart was already in bad shape. Honestly, emergency surgery like that is incredibly risky. But you saw his condition. We had to try. We did everything we could, but... I'm so sorry. We did our best. The doctor's voice was heavy with guilt as he spoke in the cold ward. His head bowed. Lu Xian, standing beside Jiang Cheng, stared blankly at the bed. A stark white sheet covered the outline of her father's body. He was all she had in the world, her only lifeline. The moment the doctor announced the time of death, Lu Xian felt like she was dying inside. Tears streamed down her face, cold and silent. She didn't make a sound, just gripped Jiang Cheng's hand tighter, so tight, his fingers throbbed. The night passed in silence. Before dawn, a sliver of light crept into the dark eastern sky, chasing away the shadows. A chilly September breeze rustled through the dew-covered leaves. In the dim morning light, two figures sat side by side on a wooden bench outside the funeral home. Everything was quiet, except for the whispering of the wind through the meticulously trimmed pines and cypresses behind them. A cigarette butt lay crushed beneath Jiang Cheng's sneaker. His eyes were bloodshot. He took a deep breath. Father Lu had been brought here for cremation the evening before. Jiang Cheng and Lu Xian had sat here together all night. Not a word had been spoken. Jiang Cheng knew that no words of comfort would help Lu Xian right now. fate had been so cruel to her, there had been a glimmer of hope, just a sliver, but it had been snatched away at the last moment, crushing her spirit and leaving her with nothing. She was only 18. She didn't deserve this, yet she'd been thrown into the depths of despair. Jiang Cheng, who had witnessed it all, felt heartbroken and helpless. He could offer her a light, but Lu Xian had to find the strength to climb out of the darkness. To be honest, such a devastating blow would test anyone. If he'd been in Lu Xian's shoes, he probably wouldn't have made it. Jiang Cheng. Lu Xian's voice was dry and raspy as she spoke. Thank you, for everything you've done. She looked down at the artificial lake and said softly, thank you for covering the $30,000 for the surgery. Don't worry about it. Jiang Cheng said calmly, it's nothing. At least she's talking, he thought, but she was still in a fragile state, and he worried she might do something drastic. He needed to find a way to keep her grounded, to distract her from her grief. But I don't know how I'll ever pay you back. Pay me back later, Jiang Cheng said. Besides, like I said before, there are other ways to repay me. Other ways? A mischievous glint flickered in Jiang Cheng's eyes. Lu Xian stared at him, and her pale cheeks flushed. He's going there. She thought. Well, what did I expect? He's a guy, after all. Whatever. I don't plan on sticking around anyway. Might as well go out with a bang. And if it's him, then I'll have no regrets. She bit her lip and nodded, a strange resolve hardening her eyes. Okay, Jiang Cheng. I promise. Really? Jiang Cheng grinned. Anything I ask, you'll do it? Yes. Lu Xian said, her cheeks burning. Anything you want. All right. Jiang Cheng stood up and held out his hand. Let's go. We're going to the hotel first. Huh? Now, Lu Xian fidgeted, her face flushed. What? Having second thoughts? No. I just thought, you stayed up all night with me, shouldn't you rest first? She remembered reading news stories about young men who had died after staying up all night and then overexerting themselves. This would count as exertion, right? Wait, are you saying we're going to get a room to sleep first? What else were you expecting? Jiang Cheng looked confused. Just a room to sleep. Nothing else? What else would we do? You stayed up all night. You want to pull an all-dayer too? Lu Xian. Jiang Cheng stared at the blushing girl. Her physical fitness is terrible. She's only 18. How can she be so red-faced from staying up all night? Maybe there's something wrong with her liver. I should get her a checkup when I get a chance. Chapter 57. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ms. Lu, come on in. Wen Jie, who swiped a card to open the door to the luxurious Shangri-La suite, turned to Lu Xian, who seemed a bit lost, and said politely. Okay. Lu Xian nodded, still rooted to the spot. She'd never seen a room so fancy. Ms. Lu, Wen Jie noticed Lu Xian's hesitation and nodded again, politely prompting her forward. Lu Xian mumbled, head down, a little embarrassed. How much does a room like this cost for a night? Wen Jie covered her mouth and chuckled. Don't worry about the cost. Mr. Jiang is taking care of everything. But, still, could you tell me? It's a deluxe suite at the Shangri-La. It's around $6,888 a night. $6,800. Lu Xian was floored. That much for one night? That's more than twice what she spends in a year. Could we maybe cancel this room? Lu Xian fidgeted, pleating her pants with her fingers. I mean, if it's just for sleeping, a cheaper motel would do. Miss Lu, you're putting me in a tight spot. Wen Jie, anticipating this, smiled. First, the room can't be cancelled after the card's been used. And second, this was Mr. Jiang's idea. I'm just an employee. I can't go against the boss, right? Then, if that's the way it is, then, okay. Lu Xin, although still feeling incredibly bad about it, felt she had no other choice. Miss Lu, seeing Lu Xin finally give in, when Jia breathed a sigh of relief. Why don't you relax for a bit? I won't disturb you. She gave Lu Xin a polite nod. Help yourself to anything in the minibar. If you need anything else, just call the front desk from the phone by the bed. Oh, everything's included in the price, so don't worry. Okay, thanks, one. You're welcome. When Jia smiled gently and bid her farewell. I'll leave you to it. Goodbye. Aha. When Jia closed the door behind her, after walking a short distance, she called Jiang Cheng. Hello, Mr. Jiang. Yes, Miss Lu's all checked in. Yes, she did ask about the price and mentioned checking out. But just like you figured, she dropped it when I said it was on your orders. Okay, I'll head into the office now, unless you need something else. Hanging up, when Jia walked over to the floor-to-ceiling windows in the hallway inside, when Jiang Cheng called to book the room, when Jia initially assumed he was planning a rendezvous, she even felt a twinge of resentment at first, but when she realized he was giving the girl her own room, she felt better. Still, the way Mr. Jiang seemed to care for her made when Jia a little uneasy, and, she realized with surprise, even jealous. Miss Lu might seem simple, even a bit outdated, but after getting a closer look, when Jia noticed that beneath the plain exterior was a really attractive woman, looks aside, her figure alone was enough to make anyone envious, when Jia couldn't help but glance at her own flat chest and felt a sudden pang of self-consciousness, but she was smart, and had learned much since she began working. Mr. Jiang was handsome, rich, young and full of life. Of course he'd want to have his needs met. After calming down and thinking it through, when Jia accepted the reality. A catch like Jiang Cheng would always have beautiful women around, and that had nothing to do with her. Her job was to be a vine, wrapping itself around Jiang Cheng, the towering tree, helping him reach for the clouds, while realizing her own dreams and ambitions. That kind of mutually beneficial working relationship was perfect for her. Anything else was beyond her reach. She wouldn't dare ask for anything more. 6 p.m., a golden sunset streamed through the windows, bathing the bed in the luxurious suite bedroom. Lu Xin, who had been sleeping all day, turned over lazily and opened her eyes. So comfortable. Lu Xin had never slept so well in her life. Lying on her back, she let the soft mattress cradle her, feeling as if she was floating on a cloud. So this is how the other half lives. She stared at the floor-to-ceiling window that spanned the whole wall. The city of Xijing spread out beneath her in the sunset glow. The high-rises were bathed in a magenta hue. The streets were a blur of bustling traffic. Her low mood lifted, washed away by the stunning view. Ring. As she gazed out the window, her pager buzzed in her bag. She grabbed it, flustered, and saw a message from Jiang Cheng. Hello. Jiang. Jiang Cheng. Are you awake? Yeah. I'm awake. Open the door. I'm outside your room. Ah. Okay. Okay. Just a sec. Coming. Hanging up, Lu Xin threw on her clothes and scrambled to her feet. After hastily combing her hair in front of the mirror, she rushed to the door and flung it open. Jiang Cheng's gentle smile greeted her. Their eyes met, and Lu Xin ducked her head, blushing. Hello. Jiang Cheng. Sleep well? Yeah, very comfortable. Lu Xin said, then, as if remembering something, added, Oh, are you checking out? I'll pack my things. Check out? Why would you check out? Jiang Cheng blinked, looking puzzled. I paid for a week. You're staying here for the next week, got it? What? Lu Xin was stunned. No. No. Jiang Cheng, you can't do this, it's too expensive here. I can do it if I say so. Jiang Cheng said firmly. Now come on. Where to? Dinner. Chapter 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The elevator doors slid open on the hotel's 6th floor. Irashimasu, .2 waitresses in beautiful kimonos bowed in unison, greeting them politely. The sudden Japanese greeting took Lu Xian by surprise. She'd never seen anything like it, and she panicked, instinctively grabbing Jiang Cheng's sleeve. Jiang Cheng smiled, gently took her hand, and led her inside. Whether it was from fear or shyness, Lu Xian didn't resist at all as Jiang Cheng held her hand. She followed him obediently into the luxuriously decorated Japanese restaurant, a waitress led them to a private room by the window. Soft, warm light spilled onto the tatami mats, and a bamboo curtain hung at the entrance, creating a quiet and elegant atmosphere. "What do you want to eat?" Sitting cross-legged on a cushion, Jiang Cheng glanced at the menu the waitress had handed him. Anything is fine." Her voice trailed off. Every item on the menu started at triple digits. The prices scared Lu Xian so much that she wanted to bolt, and she couldn't bring herself to order anything. Seeing her reaction, Jiang Cheng sighed and took charge of the ordering himself. After a flurry of decisions, the waitress took the menus, bowed respectfully, and left. The bamboo curtain fell, turning the elegant space into their private world. Jiang Cheng looked across the low table at Lu Xian. Maybe it was the hotel bath and the rest, but Lu Xian, who usually looked a little somber, had a pure, untouched quality, like a water lily. Her smooth, porcelain skin glowed in the soft light, giving her a dreamlike beauty. Perfect features, a classic oval face, a sharp, straight nose, and crystal-clear pink lips. She was stunning, even with her hair a mess. If she had a complete makeover, how beautiful would Lu Xian be? The thought filled Jiang Cheng with anticipation. He immediately added the beautiful girl transformation plan to his to-do list for the week. Cough, cough, cough. Perhaps self-conscious under Jiang Cheng's gaze, Lu Xian coughed shyly. Jiang Cheng, lost in his beautiful girl transformation plan, snapped back to reality. Jiang Cheng. "Thank you," Lu Xian said quietly, lowering her head. "You don't have to thank me. It's what you deserve," Jiang Cheng replied, picking up a teacup and taking a sip. "What I deserve?" The word seemed to confuse her. She looked up at Jiang Cheng, her beautiful eyes questioning. "Before going into surgery, my uncle must have foreseen what might happen later." Jiang Cheng set down the teacup, his expression serious. "He told me personally that he hoped I would take care of you. I promised him, and I'm a man of my word. I have to follow through. So, that's why." Speaking of her father, the girl's eyes started to well up again. "Of course," Jiang Cheng said, resting his hands on the table, his arms crossed. "Taking care of you is one thing, but the 300,000 you owe me is another. You have to pay me back." "Okay." Lu Xian nodded firmly. "Jiang Cheng, don't worry. I'll find a way to pay you back, it just might take a while." "Sorry," Jiang Cheng interrupted coldly. "I can't wait that long." "Then, what do you want me to do?" A hint of mischief played on Jiang Cheng's lips. "I seem to recall you promising me this morning that you'd repay the debt in other ways, right?" "Yes." The girl bit her lip and nodded earnestly. Does he really still want that? Even though she'd mentally prepared herself to give him everything, she still felt a twinge of anxiety and disappointment at the threat of the debt. In this world, there's no such thing as unconditional kindness. From now on, you'll work for me to pay off your debt. Just as the girl was falling into her thoughts, the boy's gentle voice pulled her back. Huh? Lu Xian was stunned, thinking she'd misheard. "Work for you, what does that mean?" "It's simple," Jiang Cheng said with a slight smile. "I just started an investment company and need a top student like you. But I don't know anything about it." "That doesn't matter. You can start as a management trainee. I'll set you up with the best team to train you from the ground up," Jiang Cheng said, casually propping up his head with his hand, smiling. "Do you trust me that much?" A hint of insecurity still lingered in her voice. "Absolutely. I have complete faith in my judgment." Looking into Lu Xian's eyes, Jiang Cheng said sincerely, "Lu Xian, I see your potential. You're smart, driven, and I admire your integrity and diligence. I think you'll become a top group manager someday. Top group manager? That's right. My goal is to build a top-tier global conglomerate, a business empire spanning 5 continents. Jiang Cheng tilted his head up and spoke clearly. Lu Xian, are you willing to join me and create this ambitious and grand dream together? Hearing his words, the girl lifted her chin slightly, and her delicate eyes lit up with an excitement she'd never felt before. They shone like the distant stars outside the window. Jiang Cheng. I do. Welcome, Lu Xian, welcome to Qinfeng capital. Jiang Cheng smiled warmly and extended his hand. Thank you. The moment their fingers touched, a gentle warmth flowed from his fingertips into hers, then raced through her body. The cold, black and white world she saw seemed to gain color and warmth. The wind blew through the open window. The girl held his hand tightly, gently tucking a stray strand of hair behind her ear, revealing a sweet, genuine smile. Chapter 59. You are listening at undefeated.audio. Seeing Lu Xian's serious agreement, Jiang Cheng secretly breathed a sigh of relief. He was genuinely optimistic about Lu Xian's potential, but more importantly, he worried she'd lose the will to live after her father's death. They were all each other had, so, Jiang Cheng used the 300,000 debt as leverage, threatening her into joining his company as an intern management trainee. Then, he dangled a carrot to ignite her ambition. Hopefully, this dream would be enough to keep her going. Excuse me, a waitress in a beautiful kimono said, lifting the bamboo curtain. She carried a tray of food. Soon, the table was covered with small, elegant dishes. Enjoy your meal. The waitress bowed politely and retreated. I've arranged for Wen Jie. You met her this morning, Jiang Cheng said, taking out pointed chopsticks. She'll find a good cemetery for your uncle. In the next few days, focus on his funeral. Wen Jie will help. If you need anything, ask her. Okay. Starting next week, you'll officially start at the company. Besides your classes, come to the office as much as you can. Jiang Cheng continued, I'll set up a reading room for you. Manage your time as you see fit. Your starting salary will be a little low, say, $3,000 a month. $3,000. Lu Xian was shocked. Jiang Cheng, that's too much. I'm still a student. I don't have any experience. I won't be much help to the company. Right, Jiang Cheng nodded emphatically. If you think you're not worth it, work harder. Prove your worth. Get it? Yes, I understand. Lu Xian had an epiphany. Jiang Cheng's incredible. He thinks so much more deeply than I do. I have to work harder and become worthy of him. She silently reaffirmed her commitment. Perhaps even she didn't realize that Jiang Cheng had become a new source of strength. Okay, you haven't eaten all day. You must be starving. Jiang Cheng waved his hand. Let's eat. Okay. Lu Xian nodded, picking up her chopsticks tentatively. She stared at the food, suddenly uncertain. Is that raw meat in the middle? Can you even eat that? What's wrong? Jiang Cheng, who had just eaten a piece of tuna sashimi, saw Lu Xian frozen, chopsticks in hand. Nothing. Lu Xian smiled awkwardly, unable to put her chopsticks down. That's tuna belly, the king of sashimi. Try it. But, the meat is raw. Just try it. Watch me. Dip it in wasabi, then soy sauce, and eat it. Okay. Lu Xian copied him, taking a bite of the sashimi. Her face scrunched up. Oh my god, what is this? The soft, raw meat was pungent. I want to throw up. She covered her nose, looking embarrassed, but determined not to waste food. She swallowed it. After that, no matter how Jiang Cheng tried to coax her, she refused another bite. Okay, let's try the nigiri. Seeing her resolve, Jiang Cheng reluctantly placed a plate of grilled eel sushi in front of her. Thank you. She stared at the 2 pieces of sushi, she remembered seeing the price on the menu, * 2 tiny pieces of rice, each topped with fish marinated in soy sauce, and they charge a fortune. The seaweed rice balls at school are way cheaper, she tasted it nervously, *. The eel tastes fishy. Not as good as the seaweed rice balls, *. Try the tempura shrimp. The foie gras is good too. And the wagyu, that it took nearly an hour to finish the meal. When the bill came, Lu Xian was shocked by the 4-digit number, *. It doesn't even feel like I ate anything. Why is it so expensive? They rode the elevator to her room. Get some rest. Jiang Cheng stood at the door as Lu Xian entered her room. If you need to go out, contact the front desk. They'll arrange a car for you, 24/7. Okay. Well, that's all for today. Jiang Cheng smiled. Get some rest. Good night. Jiang Cheng, as he turned to leave, she called out. Something else? No. No. Lu Xian looked down, twisting her clothes. I'll contact you after I take care of my father's funeral, okay? Sure. Jiang Cheng smiled, waving casually. I'm your boss. Of course you'll contact me soon. Okay. Watching him disappear down the hall, Lu Xian felt a sudden emptiness. She slowly raised her hand, pressing it to her heart raced, unable to calm down. Lu Xian finally understood, Jiang Cheng had become the strength she needed to live again, * Jiang Cheng, she vowed to herself, * I'll work hard, *, please guide me, *. Chapter 60. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After getting back to the dorm in a cab, Jiang Cheng frowned the second he opened the door. Something stank. He looked up to see the fat guy in front of the computer, grinning like a fool and whispering sweet nothings into his headset like nobody was around, and shirtless Lu Yijie was sprawled out on the balcony windowsill, practically shoving his phone into his ear. Ugh. It was the sickly sweet stench of love. Never mind Lu Yijie and Lu Na, the accidental lovebirds. Jiang Cheng knew the supposedly cute lowly the fat guy was sweet-talking on the other end of the line. Her voice was all soft and sugary, the kind that made you believe she had to be a cute lowly. Yeah, well, nice in theory. The poor, clueless fat guy obviously didn't realize that thing called a voice changer existed. More than that, he never suspected that the love of his life, the one he'd been whispering sweet nothings to for 6 months, was actually some dude picking his toenails. Jiang Cheng could still picture the fat guy from his past life, coming back from that disastrous real-life meeting, burying his face in his pillow and shaking like a leaf. Remembering it, Jiang Cheng sighed and gave the fat guy a gentle pat on the shoulder. Dude, online dating is risky. Be careful who you meet up with, it usually ends in tears. Mwah. Sweetums. Honey bunch. Cuddle cakes. The fat guy, lost in his own world, waved him off impatiently. Oh, I miss you so much. Smoochies. Totally creeped out, Jiang Cheng climbed into bed. He focused his thoughts, and the system interface popped up in front of him. Host, Jiang Cheng. System level, LV3, 1752711/20000000. Basic attributes. Strength 54/endurance 62/agility 66/intelligence 75/appearance 90. Looks like, with the concentration talent helping him, all the exercise Jiang Cheng had been doing lately was paying off. His scores for strength, endurance, and agility had all ticked up a little, plus, with the expenses for setting up the new company and the $300,000 for the surgery, the system upgrade experience had reached 1.75 million. He planned to grind hard this weekend to reach 2 million, buy himself something, and blow it all at once. Happily resolved, Jiang Cheng finally relaxed and drifted off to sleep to the fat guy's sickeningly sweet love talk. Time flew by, and before he knew it, it was Friday again. Bright and early, Jiang Cheng sauntered into the Qinyang International Building A, not far from school, and headed to the 26th floor. The elevator doors opened, and he was hit by the smell of fresh renovations. Jiang Cheng sniffed, stepped out, and looked around. The entire company entrance had been completely redone, the wall in front was covered in dark walnut paneling, lit up with LED strips above and below, the bright light reflecting off the spotless marble floor. In the center of the wood paneling hung 4 powerful, gilded characters, Qinfeng Capital. When Jia had told Jiang Cheng about this calligraphy, it was written by the retired dean of Shijing Art Academy to congratulate Renli, the president of Zhaoxing Bank, on the founding of Qinfeng Capital. The last name was Liu, but Jiang Cheng hadn't paid much attention to the specific name, but supposedly he was a big shot in the Chinese art world, the guy who designed the teacher portrait on the RMB. A real old artist with official connections. In any case, Jiang Cheng was happy with Dean Liu's reputation and status. After all, it was about the company's image, not just the name on the front desk, but the company logo, employee business cards, all that stuff. Behind the new dark black marble front desk stood a young woman with fair skin and striking looks. She had her hair pulled back in a high ponytail and wore flawless makeup on her pretty oval face. She was dressed in a crisp white blouse tucked neatly into a tight pencil skirt, showing off her curves. Tiny waist, and a chest that was ambitious. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows, even without supervision, just from the way her shirt stretched. He knew those weren't just assets, they were kidney-crushing cannons. "Sir, how can I help you?" Seeing the handsome Jiang Cheng approach, the ponytail girl at the front desk was caught off guard and stammered, her eyes locked on his face, and she couldn't look away. Where did this guy come from? He's gorgeous. Hello. Jiang Cheng smiled faintly and gave a casual nod. Oh, The front desk girl snapped out of her daze and quickly bowed, saying politely, "Excuse me, is there anything I can help you with?" "Oh, I can think of a few things." Jiang Cheng glanced down, his eyes lingering on the impressive view. "Mr. Jiang. You're here." Hearing the front desk girl's voice, Wen Jie hurried over. "Mr. Jiang." The ponytail girl looked at Jiang Cheng in confusion. "Wait, isn't Mr. Jiang the boss of Qinfeng Capital?" "Seriously? This hottie is actually the CEO?" "Jiang Cheng and the others are already here," Wen Jie said respectfully. "We're just waiting for your instructions." "Got it." Jiang Cheng nodded, his eyes briefly returning to the girl with the high ponytail. "Oh, Mr. Jiang, let me introduce you." Noticing Jiang Cheng's gaze, Wen Jie added quickly, "This is our company's new receptionist, Zhang Pinglang. Xiao Lang, this is the boss of Qinfeng Capital, Mr. Jiang Cheng." "Hello, Mr. Jiang." Zhang Pinglang bowed respectfully again, giving Jiang Cheng a sweet greeting. "Xiao Lang, right? Heh, we're all colleagues now, don't be so formal." Jiang Cheng smiled gently and held out his hand. "Yeah." Zhang Pinglang smiled sweetly, dipped her head slightly, extended her slender white hand, and shook Jiang Cheng's hand firmly. "This girl is a fighter." The moment they touched, Jiang Cheng felt the calluses on her knuckles and, thinking of her figure, understood immediately. After Jiang Cheng left, the gorgeous receptionist with the impressive figure carefully lifted her hand and gently caressed her cheek. Her plump lips, glossy with lip balm, pursed slightly, and a look of stunning, almost obsessive, admiration flashed in her eyes.